Hello, everybody. Welcome to the coach's call. Looks like we got a few more coming in. How's everybody doing?
Hey,
Okay,
David,
thumbs up.
is the NCL syllabus or Canvas content on the table for discussion today?
Yeah, we have a little open time, so we could definitely talk about it then.
All right.
Sure. Thanks for bringing it up.
Yeah, I liked your email where you said your school was up to shenanigans. That's a good use of the word.
All right. Aren't all schools up to some sort of shenanigans? All right, well, welcome everybody to the call. If you're brand new, I'm David Zajcik. I'm the NCL Commissioner. Also on the line with us today is Emily and Ashley. Hello, Emily. Hello, Ashley.
Hi, everybody.
There we go. So here's what we're going to be talking about. We're going to have Emily run us through competition dates, talk about registration being open. It's open now. And our spotlight partner announcement, which is Black Girls Hack, and also Recruiter Pitch Day and NCL 101. So lots of good announcements coming up, information for you to learn. And then our discussion topic for the day is, well, something that I think more and more of the meetings that I'm going to and all of the different symposiums and topics that I see come up have to do with AI. So guess what? We will be talking a little bit about AI, meaning how are we and students leveraging in generative AI in cybersecurity education and also competition preparation slash, competition usage. And I want to know what your thoughts are on best practices for its use, how you're using it, and all of that. So we're going to do that again is our breakout sessions. So we'll have several different rooms for us to join, and we'll have kind of the smaller discussions to talk about that amongst ourselves. So that's what we're doing. Let's jump right into it. Emily.
Spring competition season is just around the corner. Registration is now open. So late registration starts on March 22nd. And I'm sorry, on March 22nd. It closed on March 25th. The practice game will be March 31st through April 6th. The individual game is April 11th through the 13th. And then the team game is going to be the 25th to the 27th of April. The gym will close at the end of May, so it'll allow your students to have a little bit more time in the gymnasium after the competition season. So once again, cost for regular registration is $35 to participate. And then March 22nd to the 25th, the cost goes up $10. So you can go to cyberskyline.com/events/NCL, or just go to the NCL website, and you also can go ahead and register right away. So don't delay, go ahead and get in there. And as soon as you register, your students will be able to get into the gym and start working through the challenges. If you're interested in purchasing, we do have some options. So we have a credit card portal for finance offices, an automated PO system for all credit card purchases. And that includes giving you all an invoice and W9 paperwork. And account credit is given for all purchase orders. And then that's when you can go ahead and get your students registered. So that QR code will take you to the link below. And once again, this information is also on the website. And if you have any questions, you can always reach out to our team, and we'll be able to help you. So it's contact@cyberskyline.com if you have any questions about that. All right, so we're going to get into some fun community things. We are really excited to share that this season we are creating an initiative called Spotlight Partner. And this season we are supporting Black Girls Hack. It's a way for our team to give directly back to the partners and organizations that support the National Cyber League. Our team is absolutely passionate about getting the next generation of cyber professionals through to the finish line to get into entry-level roles and internships. And we really want to support those community organizations that we work with closely We've been working with Black Girls Hack for the last few years since I joined Cyber Skyline and supporting the NCL. And we are not only supporting them with community initiatives and supporting their communities and vice versa, we also are giving them a financial stipend at the end of this season. A portion of the proceeds of the National Cyber League competition will go directly to support their initiatives. If you don't know about Black Girls Hack, I highly implore you to go and check out their LinkedIn page, their website, blackgirlshack.org. They are doing really fantastic things, especially with the leadership of Tanisha Martin. She also has SquadCon. It will be this is the third year for SquadCon, which is part of Hacker Summer Camp in Vegas. I had the privilege of working at SquadCon the past couple of years and truly working with their team. They are an exceptional group, really doing wonderful things for those who have diverse voices within the cyber community. And right now, we really could be tapping into more of those support systems for those within the cyber community. So once again, really excited to share about our Spotlight partner. Stay tuned for our next season and who our Spotlight partner will be and how we can continue to help those outside of the NCL and really create an inclusive space for many of the organizations that are in the orbit of the National Cyber League. Couple of quick reminders, Recruiter Pitch Day is coming soon. So that's going to be on Wednesday, March 26th at 4 to 5 p.m. Eastern. It's going to be on the same day as the next coaches call. So right now I'm in the middle of confirming who's going to be there. So that's why you don't see the names because I don't know yet, but definitely we will be having organizations join us. Hopefully, you know the spiel. I believe this is our 5th or 6th time doing Recruiter Pitch Day. Organizations are given about 5 to 8 minutes to share about their company culture, internship programs, entry-level role opportunities. It's open to the entire NCL community. And actually, it's open to everybody in the cyber community. So even if you have somebody who's not yet part of the NCL, but they're interested in joining, it's a great entryway for them to see kind of some of the programming that we have and hopefully get them interested in the NCL. It's a wonderful way for students to be able to network and interact with hiring individuals and really just to see what's out there. It really has made some wonderful connections. We've had some folks go through the internship programs of many of these organizations that present at Recruiter Pitch Day. And really, it's a nice way to start a conversation with some of the recruiters. So you will be seeing information. This is going to be emailed out. We're going to have it on LinkedIn. We're going to put it in Discord. But just a heads up, once again, this is going to be on Wednesday, March 26th at 4 to 5 p.m. Eastern. We do record every session. So in case your students can't join live, that's not a problem. We'll make sure they have access to that as well. Alrighty, and my last tidbit for community events, this Thursday, tomorrow at 7 p.m. Eastern is going to be the NCL one-on-one, everything you need to know about NCL. So we're going to have some heavy hitters. We're going to have Franz Pear. Everyone knows who Franz is. We know and love him. He is going to be joined by a few of my colleagues, Eddie, Jen, and Kiwi. Those are some new faces at Cyber Skyline. And they're going to go ahead and talk about things that you can expect in the NCL games, get tips and tricks. And if you have any questions about NCL, these are going to be perfect people to get information from. We highly encourage you, if you're new to the NCL, maybe you're not new to the NCL and just wondering, I don't know, just insight from Cyber Skyline folks, or if you have students who would be interested in joining. Once again, we do record the session. So if anyone is not able to join live, it's not a problem. We'll make sure this is up on our YouTube channel post-event. But the webinar will cover some specific things. So it'll have the spring 2025 season timeline, categories, scouting report, existing resources, which will be a really great tool, especially for the competition season coming up, reminders and tips for first-time players, wonderful way to get their footing with what the season will look like. And then, of course, Q&A and open chat. So hopefully we'll see you there. You should have received an email giving the registration link. Once again, this is also on LinkedIn and in Discord. So anyone can register using those different avenues. So we hope to see you there. And thanks for supporting us as we put on these types of events and recordings for students and for faculty. And
And
with
it's
that,
also, oh, go
yeah,
ahead.
go
Go
ahead.
ahead.
No, I was gonna say with that, I'll give it to you,
Oh,
David. Go ahead.
okay. I was going to also say, you mentioned all those places you can find that registration link. It's also in the Zoom chat. So Ashley dropped that in there as well. So if you do want to register for the NCL 101, go ahead and go open the Zoom chat, and we have a link to it right there. All right. Thanks, Emily. All right. So now well, we're gonna have plenty of time, which is great, to talk about the use of generative AI in the classroom, how you use it, how you use it for competitions, and thoughts. I think it's a uh, timely discussion. So what we're going to do now is we're going to switch gears, and we're going to now, instead of having one big meeting, we're going to create some breakout rooms. And if you're interested in participating, please stick around. And if you're not, now's the time. We'll say goodbye, and we'll see you at the next coach's call next month.
Hey,
But
David, can I ask a quick question before we break
yeah,
up? Um, I noticed a lot of the people online, it's saying they're note taker. Does that mean they're
yeah,
using something like Otter or whatever to record the meeting?
that's what it looks like. Yeah,
All
looks
right.
like most of them are otters.
I'm just wondering how many bots I'm going to have. And speaking of generative AI, I'm wondering if I'm going to be the only human in the room.
No, no, no. We won't move the bots in. We'll only move the people. And that reminds me, sorry, John, we were going to have you, you had a question too. So before we do go into the breakout rooms, we wanted to talk about the Canvas.
Yeah, so someone, and I'm not sure if that was you or who created the original course canvas for NCL. That was you.
Yeah.
Um, what are the plans, if any, for maintenance? Because I went through all the trouble of purging my old NCL and getting you to make that available again, and then it was like the same content. So I'm like, ah.
Okay. So I am taking notes. I've gotten a couple from people so far about what needs to be cleaned up, and that's my responsibility. So if you have notes, please send them. And I will be doing that hopefully in the next few weeks, getting anything that looks like it's out of date or needs updating or links are broken, get all that cleaned up.
Okay, yeah, I think I might end up just playing whack-a-mole since I've already imported it, right? And like, put in a new schedule and all that, but I didn't know if there was any way we could get ahead of the curve and um, have it ready for the start each year.
Oh, for each year. Um, yeah, what I wanted to do is kind of make it agnostic so we wouldn't have to change it each year. So I'll go in and double check all that. So thanks. I'll make a note of making it so we don't have to update it before
Yeah,
each
there's the
season.
other thing, like just a link to the schedule. All right, well, thank you very much.
Yeah, sure. And Joel, looks like you had a question, and Ashley quickly answered of how do you get to the Grant Canvas shell. There's a link right there in chat. Cool. And if you are new and not familiar with what we're talking about, we do have an NCL Canvas shell. So if you're familiar with Canvas, right, the learning management system, what you can do is if you're using that platform, or even if you're not using that platform, you can actually go check it out. But if you are using Canvas, we've made a whole bunch of resources available to you for you and for your class to prepare for the NCL. So it's just kind of taking all of the different, for me, it was all the different resources I use and just sharing it with you all. Okay. Any other questions? Because we didn't really pause for too many questions. So before we jump into coaches committee, uh, the the discussion topic, any other general questions we can answer?
I guess I could ask a question. I'm afraid it's a
Sure.
dumb question, though.
No problem.
I have in my NCL course, I have 65-ish students, and I post my announcements in the Canvas shell, and I say, sign up with this school, and post the link and everything. Invariably, I get a I get the students who picked the wrong Eastern, but those I can deal with. But this semester, I've got a new problem. I have a whole bunch of students who said they were playing in the gym already. But when I look on Cyber Skyline and my coach's portal, I don't see them at all. What might have happened? Did they not pick me as the teacher, or do you have any idea?
Yeah, probably. And what you can do is go into the NCL Cyber Skyline site, and there's a place to open a ticket. So just open a ticket, give the information of what students should be showing up under you, and then they can go manually add them to your
Okay.
roster.
Yeah, I just wasn't sure which of those students registered, and I didn't want to dump all the work on somebody else and say, see if, I got 40 of them that didn't join or whatever. I felt kind of guilty doing that, but I've been posting emails and stuff in the course, and I thought maybe if the students will tell me, own up,
Hey,
and then I'll do the tickets.
David, can I make a suggestion? Wouldn't he be able to just go give them the coach's code? Maybe the vouchers weren't assigned to him.
Yeah, I'm not sure how that works after they've signed up because he said they're already in the gym.
So
That's
I
possible.
can,
Go ahead, Ashley.
yeah, so in the coach's dashboard, there is a unique link in every coaching account that is your coaching observation link. And if you grab that and give it to your students, they put it in the URL that you provide them, and it'll bring a pop-up on their screen that says, do you want to um, attach your account to this coach? And they just select approve, and then you will be able to see them. And that is available in your coaching dashboard. And
Great.
Joel,
Thank you.
I can go
Perfect.
ahead and
Yeah.
find yours and
Okay,
message you
thanks.
that. Yep.
Yeah, that's what I'll do because I've got a group email. I can just send it to them all and then
Cool.
tell them how to
Good.
fix it. Thanks a lot.
Thanks for clarifying that, Ashley.
Yeah.
We had another question too. Maybe you want to jump on this one too. I can see the NCL course as a guest, but not, oh, maybe I can answer this, but not when I log in. How do I change that? So we're saying the NCL Canvas shell course.
Yes.
Courtney. Yeah. Okay. So you can see it as a guest. Um,
I just had to figure that out. You have to go into Commons and authorize your account first, and then you can download it after that. It doesn't work when you just log in. It's going to throw you right to your Canvas shell. If on the left sidebar, if you click Commons, you authorize it, then go back to that link, it'll let you import it then.
yeah. Thanks. Yep. Yeah, you were just going through that. Perfect. And yeah, it's called the Coach's Observation Link. And Ashley just put the link to that in chat. So if you do have some students that aren't showing up and you think they should be showing up, you can use that Coach's Observation link, and that will then add the students to your roster. Cool. Good. All right. Got some good. None of those were stupid questions. Those are great. Those are easy questions, or good questions for the group to know how to do.
Hey, David.
Hey, Costas.
Hey, good morning, good afternoon. Wondered whether you have a few words of encouragement to the coaches on the call about reaching out to high schools in their area. A lot of coaches already have relationships to bring high school students into NCL, but some of them may not have thought about it. So I wonder if you have a few words.
Yeah, sure. So one of our initiatives that we're pushing here at NCL is we do want to get more high school students involved. We're finding that really the level and the way that high school students are using the platform is really beneficial for high school students. So we'd like to get it into the hands of more high school students. And as Costas mentioned, probably one great way to do that is with your support. So if you are, and I think we do actually might have a couple high school coaches on the call, but if you are not at the high school level, maybe your community college or university, we are hoping that maybe you could reach out to a local school and talk to them about NCL, and then maybe offer a little coaching to them as well. One thing that we're doing here in California is we actually have a group of students, high school students, that are putting on a boot camp for other local students in Sacramento. So that's one great way to, high school student to high school student, get them interested, and then also just comfortable in participating. So, getting the word out there that this is not the type of competition where they have to have, really any strong cybersecurity skills. The gym is there for students to learn how to actually solve some of these questions. So it's not a just throw it at them and see what happens. And I think that's also important for teachers to know as well, is that the teachers don't necessarily have to have all the answers and training material for high school students to participate. We can, point them at the gym, and the gym can, get them prepared for the competition.
Hey, David, just a humble brag that
Yeah.
Long Beach City College for my spring semester with my dual enrollment students, we use NCL, although we are actually using the lab kits this semester, but we use that to continue training and then move on to Cyber Patriot in the fall.
Oh, nice. Okay. And John, that was another good thing to mention is, that I think the pairing of NCL and Cyber Patriot works out pretty well. I think both in preparing students for that particular game, and then also giving students who, got their interest piqued from Cyber Patriot another, parallel game for them to go and, hone their skills. Do you have anything to add to that?
Yeah, it just matters which one they take first, right? So we're
Mhm.
we're looking at from the approach of like the spring semester is we try to get them interested in cybersecurity. Uh, NCL is a little easier to do outreach because it doesn't have the the requirements, the machine requirements that Cyber Patriot does as far as virtualization and all that. They could do challenges without Kali Linux, although obviously you're better off if you could do it that way. And then we could start doing the heavy hitting. We have summer camps for Cyber Patriot, and then of course the competition in the fall. But they are definitely they're two very different competitions, but they are not. You could definitely leverage each off of the other.
Right. Great. Well, thanks. Okay. Now I think it's time for us to do our discussion. So let's see. It looks like everybody's back, and I think you guys can all see my screen here. Yep, the Google Doc. Okay. Just want to make sure I'm
Yes.
sharing this right thing. John, you're up first.
All right, so we had a fun little group. No bots were allowed. So I talked about how I'm a proponent of using AI. The spiel I keep on saying is the bad people are using AI to attack us, so we need to learn how to use it to defend us. Last night in my class, we were doing crypto challenges, not NCL related. Actually, what is it? CryptoHack.org, I think is the website, and they give you hints like here, use this Python library. And I'm not a Python programmer; it's not a programming class, so that's like a great use of AI. Um, Angela was saying how she's up until now she's been using it for idea generation and generating questions, but not in the competitions. I think maybe Angela, you could give a thumbs up if I'm summarize this correctly, that you're more open to using it now for the competitions. Now that we discussed that a little bit, the fact that even if it's not a programming class, you need to understand the code that like AI may be generating for you. Courtney pointed out that it might be an issue that it generates. Maybe it's using older libraries. There's error in the code, right? You still need to. You can't. It's not push button. You can't just say AI, give me the answer. You have to have some understanding of what you're doing. Uh, we had an existential debate about what is AI. Where does the line between man and machine stand today? Right? I just recently acknowledged that Grammarly is AI, and that there's so many different tools, and which one is like best for the challenge. David gave a great example that I'm going to copy how we use ChatGPT to solve the PCAP challenge in the gym, and then so I'm going to do that with my students. I'm going to have them. We'll do it the old-fashioned way using Wireshark, and then I'll say, look, and here's another way. And similar, Angela was talking about the CAN bus. Even though that wasn't an AI thing, I put it down there as a note because I want to do that as well. So I think and the last point, David mentioned how even putting a PCAP into ChatGPT, you have to change the format, right? So Chat GPT doesn't like it, it's like, what would you like? What can I do to make you happy and get the right format? So that was our group.
Very good. Thanks. And room number 2, take it away. Is that
Chola.
pronouncing your name right? Chola?
Yeah.
Great. Welcome.
All right. Thank you.
Welcome.
So we talked about a lot of things, and I think we started by sort of discussing how AI, generative AI tools that our students are using aren't really solving the problems for them. Like they can't do the work. They can guide them or give them ideas. And so, for example, they can use it to find the code. It can give them the code. It can give them tool suggestions or commands, the steps, etc. But they'll still have to do the work. And so that's how students seem to be using. We also talk about things like problems with AI uses, like cheating, over-reliance on AI-generated work or AI-generated code, or the steps. Maybe one of the effects didn't have time to type it there, but sort of connects to that over-reliance is maybe not tending to think about the solutions themselves. Or maybe even if it's coding, relying too much on the logic that's provided by AI, not sort of thinking through the logic themselves, because what the students might come up with might be based on a different logic than what AI is giving out. So those are some of the problems that we talked about. Talking about the best practices, how do you combat the beauty of AI, where you can find answers to questions to dealing with the problems. And so faculty in the group had talked about how they sort of ask the students in coding classes to present the code and explain the code line by line. Also, sort of explaining to the students that in the real world, they may encounter certain situations where, because the employers know that AI can write code for them, interviews are now being transformed into where they are checked for whether or not they truly understand the code. So they may be asked how, well, they may be given a piece of code and asked to explain what that code does. Uh, Also, some ideas that we talked about was giving them exercises where some kind of personalization exists. Like maybe there's code, but the code has to display the name of the student, for example. And students can still get through that, but students who haven't paid much attention to that can be caught. We talked about the idea of creative teaching methodologies, where they will be allowed to use AI, or maybe the instructor even uses AI along with them to even show them how they can use. But the focus is more on understanding what AI is giving, being able to explain and correct and critique what AI has actually given them. So they're not just copying and pasting it, but also using their minds while integrating AI into the courses. We also talked about live presentations and live demos with projects, and I think multiple faculty in the room actually thought that we should be transforming into maybe projects or live work-based assignments um, where the students get to actually use some of their own creativity, and even if they use tools to help them, they're still building that knowledge and skill. And we also talked about, I think we're in a challenging time, so we listed some 3 questions up there for consideration. It might be our first topic up there. Like, if we are allowing students to use it, then how do we make sure that we know how do we detect AI generated work? And how do you not falsely label someone's, code or another form of assignment as AI generated when maybe they did it. Maybe it looked like AI generated, but maybe they did not. So the lack of tools, or maybe, that's still a consideration or a challenge. How do you make sure that when we're allowing the use of AI, the skills are actually being developed? How do we not lose that critical thinking ability and the ability to do the work and solve problems, and reduce the reliance on AI? So I think those were the things we discussed in the group.
Great. Thank you so much. Yeah, and I think that's a really good point too at the end is like a couple things of, detection tools. We're definitely at my university pushing back and saying, well, they're not reliable. So we don't want to falsely accuse students of using a generative AI tool when they really did the work themselves. So thanks for pointing that out. Okay, last group.
Hello, this is Joel Hutchins with Eastern New Mexico University in Ruidoso. We
Okay.
had three colleges represented. I went first because I didn't figure out how to capture the Google Doc that I thought you mentioned you needed, or we were supposed to work through, but we remembered it was AI,
Oh,
and we
good.
all had some
Okay.
feedback on that. Uh, we're going through at our school because we have a faculty group where the department chairs get together and they kick around these things. We're National Center of Academic Excellence, and so we get some feedback through them, research and all. And we have an issue because a lot of the non-technical professors, some of them just don't want to use it. Their students are just going to cheat, and it's no value, and it's all evil. But yet in technology, we want to find out how to drill down to the answer quicker and not necessarily have to do a research paper every time you want to find out if a daddy long legs will kill a black widow. And I've used it a lot in Python programming. I'll ask for, which is what we did before. We'd go out on the internet and find some guy in a chat room that had written code that we wanted, and I'd steal a little segment and I'd tailor it to what I needed to do. It's kind of the same thing, only a lot faster. You can't make it write your whole program. And then I mentioned that people they know about plagiarism, our students, but they don't always know that AI stealing the whole thing from Copilot or Chat GPT is still plagiarism. And so each of our professors is supposed to put their own policy in their courses. And so mine is, you can use it, and if you cite it and reference it, so, I use Copilot or whatever, that's fine. Use your research. We had Jerry Roberts with Valencia College in Orlando, and he said, yeah, it's the same here. The non-technical instructors kind of push back. But yet, on the other hand, it's a tool. We got to learn to use it. We can't be afraid of it and run from new technologies, especially when we teach technology. And then she offered an example of one student who told Chat GPT to summarize a chapter in a book, so the student could capture all that without having to read all 300 pages or whatever it was.
Mhm.
And so they use screenshots and timestamps to kind of help ensure students aren't just, faking every assignment. And she warned about the hallucination factor, that sometimes, you get weird results. Carlise Tucker with Talladega, we ended up talking about race cars after we found out there's a race car track there. Well, I didn't know there was a race car track. But he said they're the only tech on campus, and so they're teaching the faculty about AI, and that's kind of neat. That AI is good. We should use it in a classroom, and should use it in your classroom, but you got to learn how and then teach. Uh, he reminded us that phrases are important because English is so complicated. So how you word things has a pretty significant effect on what you're going to get back. And then we talked about race cars, and that's where I lost track because my car is a 2002 Ford Ranger pickup with a 2.3 liter four-cylinder engine.
Went down a different rabbit hole for a few
Yeah,
minutes.
faster on my bicycle going downhill.
Right. All right. Well, thanks for that summary. I think we still have more to talk about on this subject, and I feel like I want to at least maybe do a little presentation of what I've found next time with generative AI and how I'm using it even in the competition with students. So I think we'll pick this conversation up again next time, and even beforehand, maybe I'll do a presentation, and if anyone has anything else they might want to like add to the group and how they're using it to teach students and maybe even in the competitions, I'd like to know. So reach out ahead of time and let me know what you've done, and we can present that to the group as well. So the next coach's call is next month, March 26th. And that is right before the season is starting. And I think right after when you need to have purchased everything to get going without having the late fee cost. So we will see everybody again next month. Thank you for your time and appreciate the discussion. And if you have any other questions or want to chat a little bit more, we'll be here for a few minutes. If not, I'll see you next month.